Alright, welcome back to Danksco Traders Hub. Yes, it's one of those days where it is a special edition. I think this would be like the third special edition I've ever done for this on Saturday. I don't normally trade Saturdays. That's why you see on the thumbnail it is saying Monday to Friday. Saturdays is normally off. But today it was a special one. I got to remember that I had no program on Saturday today, so I had to schedule for an edition. Apologies, I didn't communicate earlier on our platform, on our community, but I had to make it. So I said, since I'm gonna be home, let me actually have a special edition on a Saturday. So 1 hour is not bad, we can do it. So that's why we are here today on a Saturday like this, and I've called it a special edition, Saturday edition. All right, so as usual, you know the drill. We get in, we start with a prayer and then we get in the analysis. So let's pray and get started. Father, we give you praise. We say thank you for this Saturday morning, Lord. We know that you are here even as we analyze today. Thank you for yesterday's big profits that we made, and we believe that even today is going to be amazing. It's going to be a great one also. As we conclude the week, we ask of your same knowledge and guidance, even as we analyze the charts, even as we look for these signals tonight. We give you praise, Lord. We give you all the honor, Lord. Thank you for today's profits. Thank you for the profits that you've given unto us the whole of this week. We love you. We give you praise. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. All right. So, as usual, you know the drill, guys. Those who have been with me ever since we started the live stream, you know that we start with Crash 500 as usual. So, without any further ado, let's get into Crash 500. Let's get into Crash 500. Please, if it is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe, and if you don't mind still, you can go ahead and give us a thumbs up so that YouTube can also, push us. Thank you. All right, so we started with Crash 500. We already start with Crash 500. This was yesterday. Those who were here yesterday, you know what we were looking at. This was the whole of this week. This is yesterday, Thursday, Wednesday. We knew that we wanted sales. Yes, we missed to make the entry here, but then yesterday something else happened. Something that I wanted to make entry on, but I missed still, because I just don't enter Crash 500 like that. It is always it always has that low liquidity, so that's why I don't normally make entry on it. I don't focus on it a lot, but this we knew. Those who were present on yesterday's analysis, you know that this is what we analyzed, and you can see later what happened. Price broke out. It gave us this kind of a move. You can see that's where the breakout happened, and then hit the target and even broke that support level. We saw the breakout on that support level, and now it is giving us some sort of a pullback. So let's go to H4. We still need sales. Not really. Why? Because we have hit a support on H4 right about there. So it means we will see some buys before we can continue with sales. So now that we know that, I want to delete everything here that has already served us. So I want to delete everything here. Now this will remain, because we know that we are likely to get into some buys and first go all the way up there. So in a scenario like this, I tend to use my fib. I tend to use my fib. That is a high, that is a low here, so I have my high and low. So all I need is an area like this conference area right here. It's gonna be one of those that price has to come to, yeah, before we get back into sales. So I'm gonna have this extended. Let me go to daily. This is my fair value gap right about here, but also okay, if I go to H4, bring this, it's too far. So my anticipation is go right there, and then we come in with our sales. It may decide to go all the way back up for the highs. It may use this premium zone to give us those sell entries. So for now, we need to look for buys. So all I need now is a reversal signal on this very support area. Once I have that, then I will come in with my buys, and I will anticipate a reversal around that level, like that, from this level there. That's where I will anticipate a pullback for my entries. If I get any pullback right here, I will come in with buys to push all the way up. Of course, your first TP wouldn't exceed such levels right there. You wouldn't want to exceed that level. Even this fair value gap in here could be your first TP right here. So that is it on this very asset. So for now, no business. It's gonna spike later today, and then we get to see a better entry for the buys. All right, let's now head over to Boom 1000. I hope my mic is clear. I hope you can hear me properly. So Boom 1000. Boom 1000. Yesterday I kept on missing the entry, but those who have been with me ever since this week started, you know that we've been looking for the buys here. You know that we've been looking for those buys. So I want to first delete these two. Yesterday it took me out here and immediately went in with the buys because I had a tight TP, a tight stop loss. I mean, this is where it took me out right there. This is where it took me out right there. I entered from there, it came and took me out right there immediately, and it bounced back into the buys. And so that's how I messed up. I should not have put a stop loss because I knew the buys were coming. We've been waiting for this. This was a confirmation here that we were waiting for, and the buys happened. This pullback here was this move that I was talking about. So these we no longer need now because they've already served us. So once I missed this, I waited for this pullback again. I again was not focusing on it a lot because I was already in gold and V75, so I missed this other entry again right there when it came back there. So after that I didn't again look at it. So it was a mess, but I should have made this money yesterday. It was my bad that I had my TP so close. I didn't want to lose a lot because Boom 1000, it is a big asset, high leveraged asset. So now we see that it has come to that level, which is a sort of a resistance level according to M15, and H1, right about there. And in fact, if I go to H1, one may say yes, it is a resistance level. It is our resistance level right about there. So price is reacting to it, and you can see the previous H4 we had that rejection coming from that resistance level, and even right now, as we see, the current H4 is also having that kind of a rejection, but it is almost we are remaining with about 14 minutes. It's about to close. It may close as an indecisive candle, meaning it can go anywhere. Price can decide to go anywhere. It can continue with the buys, or it can first retrace back into sells. So according to H4, we still need buys, so I have to remind you that according to M15, sales will continue. So sales are going to come through. We are likely to see sales continue according to M15 until where? So let's get to know where price would probably come back according to M15. So this one has already mitigated this order block, so it may come for this fair value gap right here, or the order block here. So most of the times, once I know there is an order block and a fair value gap, I normally go for the order block, because price can easily come for the order block, can easily pass through the fair value gap and come for the order block. So that's why I normally go for the order block when I'm analyzing. So now that I know this, I know price is coming here, it may only touch this order block, and then we get to continue with our buy trend. Why? Because we need to get enough momentum from a liquidity that was left back to push buyers to break this resistance level right here. So that's why it has to make this pullback. So that's why this sell is currently a strong one. Yes, there's some support area here, but it's likely to go through it. I've missed the entry already. But I can wait for a pullback. It may spike a bit. Let me see, according to M5, it is going to spike. Once it does the spike, then I will come again. I will make my entry also for the sell, because I've seen that this sell is gonna come for that. But if it spikes and breaks this level right here, I would not go in for the sell. I will wait. But also, if it reacts there and starts to sell and I make my entry, I will take my profits here. I will not risk to wait for the breakout all the way here. Meaning I can have my two entries, the first to take my profits here, then the second to take my profits all the way to this on this order block right here. So that is how I will trade it. All right, enough of Boom 1000. I've seen we have this pullback retest, this retest trade that we are anticipating, but you have to bear in mind that the general trend is a buy. So meaning when you enter sales, you are going against the trend. If you are not safe, if you've never done a retest trade, you rather wait for the buys to come through and give you a signal than you entering a retest trade. You'll be going against the current trend, which is the uptrend. Enough of that. Let's go to Boom 500. Boom 500, the retest has happened. Now we can come in with buys. Why do I say that? Let's go. Those who have been following with us here, you know that we've been looking for buys. We've been in for buys. Yesterday I wanted buys from this level. It didn't happen. I thought it would come for this fair value gap before we can come in with buys to break out, but it did not happen. So now I can delete those two. I want to go to H4. We have a breakout on this trend line. But this is a bit crazy. I cannot just like that say we enter buys, because it can easily give us this as another point. You understand? So this can be the other point for this trend line, and we could change everything right here to this right there, and this can be something weird. So instead of me rushing to get into buys, I want to rather wait. Why? Because this order block has not seen a significant breakout, meaning sales are gonna come in according to daily time frame, according to H4, according to H1 actually, which has actually even confirmed that, giving us a change of character right here. Look at that. So it has already confirmed there on H1. The only issue is on M15. It is a bit confusing, because it's not ready for us to make that sell entry unless if it breaks this conference area. But from what I'm seeing, it's gonna go like this. It's gonna come to this and first go back up there, then it gives us the sell. That is what I'm seeing according to M15, and I can actually anticipate it on H1 and use that as my point that I can use for the entry, sniper entry, if it gives me that kind of a pullback. In fact, if it reacts here, let me go to M5. Yes, why don't I make this buy entry? It's gonna, we have about 8 minutes to close. So if I enter now, all right, so I'm gonna enter here. I'm gonna enter here, and I'll enter a buy, and I'll have my stop loss all the way below this support. I have my stop loss all the way on this support. I will have another one just around there, just in case if it tries to go for this low. So this is going to be like a retest trade on Boom 500. It's gonna be like a retest trade. All I need is a pullback there, then I can come in with a sell. That is what I need. Remember, I'm looking for this pullback trade. It has given me a change of character here. This is a return to change of character level. Probably this order block here, this sell candle here, that is where it may give us the retest, the spike from. We may see a spike on that order block, so let's wait and see. That's why I've entered a bit early, because I'm going to another asset. I don't want to miss it. Yeah, so this here is what I'm anticipating. Why? Because of that change of character on M5, but also because of this support on M15, and the other signal is what we see here right on CCI and RSI. So that's why I'm entering my buy entry right here. Enough of Boom 500. Let's now get into V25S. I was following this, but I was not convinced a lot. Why? Because of the rejections that I was seeing, the way the momentum of this price, of this asset, when it was, you know, coming from that resistance. But those who were here yesterday, you know that we had this as our analysis. Price either to break and continue, or to give us this pullback to this fair value gap, and of which it happened. The pullback happened. It even broke that. It did not respect that fair value gap. It actually went all the way back to this level, of which that level is what we can only call it this right here. It's a support area down below here on H4, and yeah, I believe sellers are still strong. Yeah, so now I can easily delete everything that I have here. What we needed price to give us something like that, then we can come in with sells to continue. Why? Because from this very level, according to daily time frame, we had a downtrend from this level. This was a lower low, lower high. It came and gave us a lower low here, but it was on a support. So it was trying to look for enough liquidity and momentum to break this support. So the question is, has it found that enough liquidity and momentum to break through this support? I don't know. We will wait and see, because according to CCI we are oversold. That is the fact. But according to weekly time frame, we are still looking for sales, meaning the sell is still on and the week hasn't closed yet. The week hasn't closed yet. So anything can happen. Anything is possible. We can break out of that support and then we continue with the sells. Remember, this is a break of structure right here, meaning we are still in a downtrend. So for now, no business with this asset. I'm not going to look for any sells because we are oversold, but also I'm not going to look for any buys because the general trend is a downtrend. Yes, I missed this trade here, but I'm not going to force any still. So according to H1, this is our order block right there, which is a support actually currently. That is a support area and price has reached it, unless if I see as a reversal signal on M15 and price goes above my 10 MA, that's when I will enter buys. But if I don't see anything like of sort, I will not. Now on this very trend on H1 giving us the sell trend, this was our change of character, probably right about there, around such a level right there. But then it left some fair value gaps in here. So if I'm trying to get my high, this will be my high right about there, and this will be my low, and that will clearly tell me the price would look for 38.2, just around here, around that area. You can see that fair value gap in there would be one of those that we could aim at to take our profits and then move out, because it can come for that and then push for the breakout of this support, and then push for the breakout of this support, or it can keep playing within here and it gives us what we call a channel, a horizontal channel. It can keep playing within here and it gives us a horizontal channel. It can keep playing here. It can easily go all the way up there. Meaning we have a sell here, we can have our sell entry right there, but also we can anticipate another one right there if price decides to go all the way back there. So that is my anticipation, and price can easily break out from here and here, but also it can still reverse back from the same point to go back there, meaning it can still continue with the consolidation within this area, as it is giving us a channel, because it hasn't gotten enough momentum to break this very support area right here, which is according to daily time frame right about there. So what do? We just have to wait, because H4 is oversold, meaning the buys are coming in. Once we are ready to sell on H4, we will have to wait for H1 also to be ready to sell, and then probably by then we'll see enough momentum to break this support area right here. So for now, the buys are coming in. Never mind about this. This is just to give you a whole overall idea that the pullback is on. It can react from here and then we get enough momentum to break this support, or it can first go all the way up there to that very resistance level, which we've called that which is going to be seen as our trend line on the channel. And then we see a pullback, but also when we get back to this area, we can see another pullback back to that level. And if the asset has not gotten enough momentum to push for the breakout, but if it has gotten enough momentum and liquidity to push for the breakout, then it will continue with a breakout right here, just like you've seen. So these are our two scenarios. The third scenario is when it has not gotten enough momentum to break the support, then it will go all the way back up for that resistance area. I hope that is enough on volatility 25 oneness. So for now, I've told you I will wait for a reversal signal on M15, and then I will come with the buys, because buys are coming in to reach this fair value gap. At least that will be our first TP, and then we look for sells, or we continue with buys all the way up, or it finds a way to break this support without giving us the retest, of which it is going to be very hard. Why? Because H4 is oversold, H1 is oversold, daily time frame is oversold. It's gonna be hard. It's going to be hard. But looking at daily time frame, that today's candle, it has been one of those strong candles. It is an engulfing one. It has engulfed 1, 2, 3 candles of bullish, 3 bullish candles right there. It has engulfed them. So meaning sellers are still strong. They've come in strong today. They've come in strong today. You can see where it started from. This was today morning, early morning, around 1 or 2 p.m. right there. That's when the sell began. And look at that. All right, so if you see a breakout, don't be surprised, but I'm not anticipating it. I'm anticipating a pullback at least to this fair value gap before we can get to see sells again. So for now, I'm going to be focusing on buys only and only if I see a reversal signal, or if I see a price go back at least above my 10 MA. Then I'll be looking for my buy entries to push me to this fair value gap according to H1. I've said a lot on V25s. Let's go to V75. Sorry guys, I didn't write V25s, but now we are on V75. All right, so V75, V75, we made a lot of money on it yesterday, and this is how I did it. So I first sold, took my profits here. I was worried about this order block that it may react on it, but it did not actually. So it continued. I missed this whole money, but I waited for this pullback. I waited for that pullback to that level, and I entered my other sell entries. That's how I made money yesterday, 2 times on this asset. So congrats to everyone that was here for the analysis yesterday. Now all this is not necessary anymore. We've been in a downtrend, and I was supposed to leave it actually to hit this TP. Why? Because I had already anticipated that TP right about here, actually right about there. So I had anticipated it, that it's gonna come to this TP level, but I couldn't hold because I'm not a market maker. Once I have enough profits, I close. I don't be rigid and keep holding, wanting more profits. So once I have enough, I move on and close. All right, so this support was broken and gave us that, and now it has come back to it, meaning it is now our resistance area So let's see what is happening today. First delete these. So I wanted this pullback to reach here into this fair value gap. It hasn't reached yet. So let's go to H4. It has gone for this fair value gap. Is that enough? I doubt it is. I doubt it is. It's going to continue selling. It's going to continue selling. So for now, this move is still on. This move is still on. So I'm going to delete it. But how do I make this move? Now, this is a break of structure right here. That is a break of structure. According to daily, we are in an uptrend. Why? Because it may not come back. Yeah, according to daily, this is where we saw a change of character right there. And now this pullback here was to mitigate the fair value gap according to daily. So this fair value gap on H4 may not actually be of value to us. Look at that. It has already mitigated this fair value gap right here. Yes, it almost hit 50%. I doubt it is going to come back. I doubt it is going to come back. And today has started as a buy day, so it's gonna be crazy for us to hold and wait. So now that I've seen something like this, I'm bullish. I'm going to be bullish, even though H4 is looking for buys, but I will follow daily and H1 time frame, which they are both in buys. They are bullish. So how am I going to trade this? All we need is to see price break this resistance. There's some rejection coming on this level here. So let me go to M15. I see what is happening. Oh yes, there's gonna be a pullback according to M15. It's gonna be a pullback according to M15. So probably it hasn't reached, so it's gonna come again for this 50% of the daily fair value gap. Probably it's likely to come for that 50% right about there, and then we can get in with our buys again. So now I think we may see something like that, then we come in with our buys from right about there. So for now, I can't force any buys, even though H1 is looking for buys and price is above our 10 MA. According to M15 and M30, there is a pullback that is anticipated, but is also tricky because it can easily break and continue with the buys. So it is one of those that I can't focus on today unless I see something that I can work with. Price is in an uptrend and it is above our 10 MA on daily time frame and on H1. Daily time frame is higher than H4, meaning we ought to focus on daily time frame. Yes, H4 needs sales, of which this could be the sell according to H4 that we can anticipate. But if price gets enough momentum according to daily time frame and H1, it will break and continue with the buys. If it breaks this resistance right here, you will not see it again to coming back for this liquidity. So enough of that on V75. Just we'll keep it on H4 and see what happens. The next H4, which is at 3, may be a sell or may be a breakout to continue with buys. So this calls for your patience. J50, jump 50. Please remember to, if it is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, and of course to give us a thumbs up. Thumbs up means you like the stream if you're loving what you're seeing. And yeah, I see Judy. Good morning, Judy. I see Desmond. How are you, Desmond? I hope you guys are having fun and making money. All right, so J50. Before I go to J50, I wanted to see what happened on Boom 500. Oh, we had a spike. We had a spike. It has just come back. We had that spike. It has just come back. Let's wait and see if we'll get another spike and make this money. We have to make this money. So we got that spike, just like I told you that it will react on that order block on Boom 500. So it's where it got that spike. Let's see if it is going to give us another spike from there again. So back to jump 50. So jump 50 followed the analysis just like we had it yesterday. Congrats to those that made money. Of course I made some money, even though I didn't hold it for long. I don't know why. I had hit my target on exactly the money that I wanted on J50, but I should have held it for even more profits to reach the trend line. So that is it. I took that money right there and I moved out. You can see it came to our TP, this level, but also gave us a breakout and went all the way to the final TP right on that order block. Excuse me. So now all this is no longer necessary. We can delete everything right here. Congrats to those that made money on J50. I hope you guys did it. Judy, I hope you made that money. All right, so tonight or today we are going to anticipate a pullback according to H4. Yeah, daily time frame we still need sales. Why? Because of that level right there. But even on the weekly, you can see how this week has been. It's been a sell, and it's going to close. It's closing today. The week is closing today. We will start a new week tomorrow, Sunday. So whatever is happening here today has started as a buy, I believe. Not really. Today was a sell still. So according to daily, we are oversold. We need sales, of course. Even on a weekly we are oversold, but then we can't just sell like that without a pullback. So what is happening here from this level, we see that there's a sort of a conference area. It's a support area from right there. That is a support area from right on that order block. So if it is a support area, it tells us that price is going to give us this kind of a pullback. So we are going to see a pullback either all the way back there, of which here most of the times, like I told you, I normally use fib. I normally use my fib. So I will go to daily time frame and put this here and bring my fib, try to get my retracement level according to fib, and that will be above my 38.2. That's what I need, around there. So if I go to H4, I can see that area, and clearly I see it is a conference area already. So price can first react back to that conference area before we get back into sales. So it is a conference area, and it was even a fair value gap right there. So I'm gonna have it as a conference area for me to anticipate a pullback. So according to day H4, I need this kind of a pullback. How am I going to make this entry? All I need is a reversal on M15. I haven't seen it yet, but price is above my 10 MA, and even on H1 price is above my 10 MA. I can anticipate a sniper here and make my entry, put my stop loss all the way here. The reason I've entered this early is because M15 is above my 10 MA and oversold. H1 is above my 10 MA and oversold. So if those two are like that, I don't normally have to wait. So that's why I've entered my buys here. That's why I've entered my buys. If it does try to go back down a bit, I will make another entry. But as of now, my buy is locked in on J50, J25. Let's talk about J25 now. So J25, just a minute. All right, so J25, apologies. So J25, looking at what we had yesterday. First go to yesterday. Yesterday I made this money right here. First go to M15. So M15 is like that. So history, I made this money, came back, took me out in profits right there. I didn't enter again, but the analysis was to get all the way into that fair value gap, and it actually reached. So congrats to everyone that followed this analysis on J25 yesterday. We made that money, so now we can take out everything right here, delete everything right here. We don't need it. Remove history. And now let's go to H1. So that fair value gap was never respected. It actually, I later saw what it was doing. That's why I have these trend lines right here. So now I know it's coming all the way to here. I know for the fact that it is coming all the way here. So it is giving us that kind of a pullback. That would be a bit something that we can, work with. So this is some sort of a support. Let's go to M15. Yeah, we have that as a support. So all we need is a pullback. So where is this pullback going to be for us to make our sales come through? So I see a confluence area which is actually matching with what we need, 38.2 retracement level. So our sales are likely to come from there. So pull back from here to there, and then we come in with our sales, hopefully. So why? Let's see why would that be an ideal level for us. First reason is we have a change of character here on M15. That is where we have our change of character. So coming to it is very ideal for us to confirm, for it to confirm the change of character or the reversal into the downtrend. So this is going to be enough, and even coming back to that level is going to be ideal for it, because it is looking for enough momentum to break this support right here. So it cannot break it unless it reacts back. But also I've used that and here, but it can also go for this right here. This is our high, That is our high and our low here, and it can easily come for this fair value gap. So it can easily come for this fair value gap, so be ready for anything. Why would it come for this fair value gap? Simple. It is looking for a lower high. You will be looking for a lower high, and that is a liquidity left back on that fair value gap. There is no other fair value gap above there. This, that is at least that we can rely on. This one is not that much of a thing, so it can either go for this or go all the way above this fair value gap to look for such a conference area or this order block right here, and then give us this move. So for now that I've seen this, I will go for another move like this to give me either this or even a breakout to bring me all the way down below. So let's wait and see which one will come first. Let me go to M5, and according to M5, I doubt it is going to use here. I believe it's going to go all the way up there. According to M5, I believe it's going to go all the way up there, but let's wait and see. We are not market makers, we are just market followers, so we just follow what the market makers provide in the market. All right, enough of all this on J25. We need to wait for sales. So for you to wait for sales, you have to wait until price starts to give you sell candles or starts to get into sales, and probably on M5 it goes below our 10 MA. Once it does that, then you know you are ready to make your entry for sales. Enough of that, let's go to J10, which is our second last asset. J10. So J10, I told you yesterday, I told you it was weird. Why? I hope no one made any sell entries. This is the reason why I told you it was weird, and that's the reason why I did not trade it at all. Look at this. This is on H4. I last traded it the other day when I was looking for this sell. That was on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, yes. This was on Thursday. This is Friday, yesterday. Yesterday I did not make any entry. Why? Because I missed this sell entry on Thursday, and then it bounced back into the buys. And according to daily, I had told you we were in an uptrend right here. This uptrend started all the way from here. That's where we got our change of character, then break of structure, break of structure, break of structure, which was yesterday. So this here giving us a break of structure, it was enough for me to understand that it is going to be a suicide for me to look for any buys, any sells or buys yesterday, because it had not given us that break of structure. So that's why I never entered any trade yesterday. So now that we know it has given us a break of structure on daily time frame, and we have a conference area right about there, then this is one of those that I have to wait. Looking at what I have on CCI, it hasn't reached that retracement level, so I can't say I can enter buys. I can't say I will anticipate a retracement because it hasn't reached yet that retracement level on CCI, meaning I can only hope for a pullback later, not today. It may happen tomorrow, the pullback. So this is a no-go for me. I'm not going to trade anything regarding J10. Yes, it has reached that previous high right there, but it can easily break it and actually come to this previous order block on the daily time frame, which is this level right there. So it can easily come for that. So if it does come for that, then we can anticipate our sales from there as a pullback to the breaker block right there. This is the level where it has broken structure from right there. And then you can anticipate another buy from there, like that. So for now, no business. I'm not going to trade this. Let me go to H1. You can see everything is overbought. Everything is overbought. So it's going to be hard for, unless you're a scalper, trading at probably M5, but still I wouldn't risk it with J10 because these assets jump. So you may think you're now scalping and you're looking for a sell. Before you know it, it jumps and it takes you out. So you rather wait. You rather leave it and wait for a clear sell entry, probably from this order block according to daily time frame. And lastly is gold. Yes, today is a Saturday, we don't trade gold, but just I want to show you what we'll be anticipating next week and what happened yesterday. So this is gold. Sorry, gold. So gold, excuse me, so sorry about that. So gold, we saw this. Those who remember yesterday's analysis, I told you we are going to look for buys, but the buys were not yet ready. Yesterday as we were analyzing, I told you, let me show you first. I saw this here. I had entered buys here, but I saw this kind of thing as making as if it was a heads and shoulders. So I had already entered, so I closed my trades in here, right here, because I had seen this is going to give us this kind of a pullback. So I closed my buys. I had already entered 2 buy entries right here, so I closed them, and then this pullback happened. Remember I told you it can easily break this and first go for this order block. So it did not actually, it gave us just a fake break of structure right here, and then it started to go back into the buys, and that's when the news started. I told you guys I don't trade news. Actually, when it broke this trend line is when I made my decision to make an entry right there. You can clearly see it's when I made my decision to enter, and after entering like that, the news began. In fact, I saw this spike like after maybe say 15 minutes, and then I saw this spike. I quickly knew that they were news. Since it was a Friday, I quickly knew that they are news. Then I went to check on TradingView, and I found Powell was making a speech. So Powell is a Fed secretary, you know. So he was making a speech. So that's when the news began. And look at what happened when he was making that speech. The breakout, but of course it was following our trend. I told you news only follow the market analysis, the price action. News always try to go in the direction of in the direction of the general price action and the general trend, and that's what we saw. Because this was sort of a pennant or a falling wedge. You can not a pennant, this is a falling wedge, and this was the target right there. You can see that there. So this, in fact, if I was greedy, I would have left my profits to reach that level, because that is where the initial target was supposed to be. Why? This is the move, and that would have been the move for me right there. All right, so enough of this. Now we know everything right there, so I want to delete everything right here, and we have a clear chart. Move history. So remember, the general trend is a buy. Remember that. So according to H4, we have seen this breakout. Apparently, you can say that is a breakout right there. Yeah, we can go with this. So that is a breakout there. So it is going to look for this fair value gap. Those who remember that we had that, it's going to go look for that fair value gap, and it can easily come again. Why? Most of this kind of a structure, it normally follows this kind of a trend, so it can easily come again there, right here. Yes, it has grabbed liquidity here. We've been looking for buys from this liquidity, but then according to the previous trend being a sell, it can easily grab that liquidity on that fair value gap, then come again for this, then we get in again for the buys. That's what I can see according to this very level. So it can easily come for this fair value gap. If it fails to get momentum to break it, it can easily first come again down below here and then give us that buy later according to daily to actually break and continue all the way up there. So be ready for anything. Be ready for anything. So that is on gold. We'll start to look at it on Monday, because gold forex is closed on during the weekends. That's why I prefer most of the times trading these synthetic indices. All right, so enough of that. We'll analyze deeper when the market opens on Monday, but as of now, let's do our recap and look at the synthetic indices. Please don't forget to like, and if it is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, be part of us in any of our analysis sessions. So we started with crash 500. All that we need is a pullback here, then we can get into buys without a doubt. That is on crash 500. On boom 1000, it has, the pullback never happened, so that means I cannot enter. So unless if it hasn't reached our retracement level here on CCI, but it has reached that order block. So let's go to M15. See, all we need is a reversal signal on M5 to push for this kind of a move all the way back up there. That's all we need. Until we see that, until you see a reversal signal, you cannot enter the buys on M5. So just wait. But since it gave us that kind of move here, it may not give it to us here. Let's go to M1C. Let's go to M1 and C. It may not. It may actually continue with a spike. But if it does give us something like this, then you have an entry on M1. You may not even wait for M5 to make that entry. So if it does give you something like this, then you will have an entry. But as of now, I'm not going to enter it. I'm not going to enter it because M15 is still in a sell trend. Still in a sell trend. All right, so that's it. But I will sell it if it goes all the way back there. That will be my entry. That will be my entry. Boom of 500, we entered our buys. It's been spiking. It again spiked from here, so it's still tricky. It's still not deciding, but I'm still holding my buy entries. We want buys to reach all the way up there, so for now I will keep holding my buys on boom 500. V25s, it has given us what we need. Can we make this entry now? Can we make this entry? This is going to be our change of character here. If I enter now, it may come again and take me out, and if I enter now, I may have a big stop loss. But if I wait, I may get a clear entry, or I may miss out on the move. So what do? Since it is a Saturday, I don't want to risk what I have already made in the week, so I will instead wait for a pullback from there. Then I can make my clean entry, probably according to H1. According to H1, yeah. So for now, the entry is going to be based on H1, not M15. I'm going to wait for M15 to do what it does, then it comes for a pullback. That's when I will make the entry. That's when I will make the entry. Alright, so that's it. Remember, those who missed all that I talked about here, it was a lot, so you can, after the session, you can go back and re-listen and see what I talked about on V25 on this very analysis. So leave it on M15. Let's wait and see. V75, yeah, the analysis is simple. We may see this pullback according to H4, but knowing that daily time frame and H1, it needs buys, so we have to wait. H4 is trying to push for sales, whereas H1 and daily time frame, they are pushing for buys. So this is a no-go for me. I can't trade it unless if I see a reversal on that area to push for the sell, then I wait for the buys on this very fair value gap. J50, I entered my buys. The market is slow. Since it is a Saturday, it is quite slow, but I've already entered my buys here, so I'm waiting. I need buys to push all the way up there. J25, did I enter it? Not yet. I haven't entered it yet. What do we need? Oh, I said we may anticipate sales from this fair value gap, but I see it was not respected, and I told you it is likely to go all the way up, so all we can do is wait for sales right about there, because we need to sell it all the way back to this trend line. Why? Because this is going to be considered as a flag according to H4, and that means sales will be coming through after this consolidation. So for now, we just wait for this pullback, and then we can get in with sales. Lastly is J10. All we need is that pullback right there, of which I told you it's according to a daily time frame. We can't enter anything here. In fact, I don't know why I forgot to delete these two. Yeah, so it's a no-go because the buy is still on, and I've told you it can easily fast reach that OB. Then we start to see some pullback. I can't enter buys because this is very short trade. That's a short trade. I can't risk it, so I have to be patient for the pullback, and then I enter that pullback and then wait for the buys again to come in, and we take it all the way up there. Now, something I have remembered. I remember doing this kind of a trend line, so it can easily even fast reach that trend line, which is going to be weird, because according to weekly, this is what we see. That's what we see right there. And of course, this signifies sales will continue. We'll later see some sales to come at least to this level right here. So for now, no business with J10. Not really. I can't trade J10. I have to be patient. And that's it for today, guys. Gold is not open, so I can't go to show you that. So we will wait on Monday. So that's it for today. Please, I hope you trade properly. You don't risk a lot. It is a Saturday, it's a weekend. The entries you make sure you have clear confirmations, like the confirmation we've gotten on J20 on Boom 500 of this change of character and that pullback. That's why we had to enter buys. But like I told you, like I've always told you, we are not market makers. So if it comes back and takes us out, Most of the times they are looking for the early buyers, meaning they are looking for the liquidity pool just below here. That's where we have our stop loss, and that we'll gladly take that loss. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. So, and I don't advise you adjusting your stop losses. I don't do it. I always want to risk what I can afford, so I don't normally adjust my stop losses. Now, just be patient with some of these other assets like J25. It's likely to give us some money. If it gives us what we need, what we've just discussed, we will end up making some good money. And then this one here, yeah, please don't force it, don't force it. But remember, jump 50 is one of those that is likely to give us some good money, because we anticipated a sniper entry right there. So if it picks up with momentum, then we are likely to make some good money today on J50 with buys. Let's wait and see. See you guys on Monday. Thanks for joining in. Bye bye. Happy weekend, by the way. Happy weekend.